Honestly, I feel like I only ever saw the 3 Raven player win.
This could be good for Marinelord. He's gonna lock on to 2 of the units. Clem still looking to overwhelm. Will actually go out for one of the Cyclones and will manage to take it down. Only 1 Cyclone remaining, but it will get rid of the Hellion right away. The Reapers are gonna try to run into the main. They will be chased down. They could turn around for this Hellion. Instead, they're going after SCVs. Clem looking for some economic damage. Will only fight 2 SCVs. And the SCV confident enough to go back to building, right back to work after surviving a grenade to the face.
And the dream. Yeah, good defense actually by Marinelord. He anticipated very well that the Reapers were going to go on the high ground here. So he sent those units as they were cleaning up the units on the low ground immediately to go there. Losing 2 SCVs, not sure that could have been prevented. Like maybe like only lost 1 or something, but good defense overall. He does find himself in a position where he's 1 worker behind currently, but he has the slightly earlier command center despite it being slowed for a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a favorable trade for Marinelord.
Yeah, not the most aggressive game right out the gate here necessarily. You know, just a few units back and forth have been killed. Yeah. Thanks to Clem's little attack. But yeah, they're just taking things slow for now. A scan from Marinelord reveals the entire main base. Actually, worker-wise, 68 to 81. So Clem definitely has been doing, has had a better tempo with SCV production. And we actually see a decently earlier 4th base for which he's already taking the double refinery on. So Clem starting to pull ahead in this fairly passive game. And adding the 2nd factory in the main base now.
Yeah, Marinelord's advantages, I can't really see them. But it's a pretty minimal advantage anyway for Clem. Marinelord does have less SCVs, which is not an advantage to list. But it does speak to his larger army. I mean, last time he was able to trade efficiently, in part due to having a larger army too, just all the time. Yeah.
He has more medivacs.
There we go.
Right now. Yeah. I had to dig deep. I found one.
Yeah.
Everything else is behind. This one is ahead.
All right. Let's hope for Marinelord to make a good use of his medevacs, as Clem is gonna move south with his 2 medevacs as well as a bioforce. Is there a tank siege for Marinelord? Clem is gonna continue moving on forward in spite of there being 2 tanks. He's just gonna clean up a turret and force Marinelord actually to reposition a lot of his army, but Clem this time around doesn't have a counter poke ready at the front.
I love the upgrades on both sides finishing at the same time. We could have a very passive game here, even like going further as they're both adding so many command centers. Look at this.
Yeah.
4 more command centers for Marinelord right now being added, 3 for Clem.
Oh wow, Clem with beautiful splits, loses minimal units to 2 tanks already siege. Now he's gonna get cleaned up by a greater number of Marines. On the other side, Clem tried to poke, but was unable to do much. These Marines might have to stim on the side of Clem to run away, and they will. And yeah, one thing that caught my eye there, Johan, the number of starports for Marinelord in production, there was just 4. That means he has now 5, I believe, at least. So a very fast air transition for Marinelord, who is lagging in supply because he invested so much into infrastructure as well.
Yeah, they're all in the main base here. Ovid reactor starts on the other side. Gonna be 2 tech labs. Actually, he was gonna do 2 reactors, but then changed his mind. So it's gonna be 3 tech labs and 1 reactor on these additional starports.
Yes, Clem does have the upgrade or the advantage as far as supply. He does have the advantage as far as economy is concerned for the time being. But Marinelord will be catching up. And once we are all caught up, once we're all maxed out, it'll start coming down to those big engagements. And we saw those go greatly in favor of Marinelord in game 1, a very similar setup to that game.
It's kind of weird. Like, they both got a bunch of barracks, and they both are getting 3 upgrades for Marines. But get this. There's 6 Marines for Clem, and 1 for Marinelord. So they're barely making any Marines here. It's like a fallback plan almost, where, yes, they got these upgrades, but they're mostly relying on an entirely mech army here with Vikings, tanks, and Ravens fighting one another. Ooh, that entire armor was really juicy here. Marinelord going for the chase. As these Vikings are all orange, he turns around as to not overextend.
And on the south, there's also a little bit of a push. The Raven and the landed Vikings will be enough to contend with these tanks, as there is, like you were pointing out, no real Marine support here from either player. Marinelord is making a couple of Marines here and there. Clem mostly focusing just on the air, and out of a bio game, we have transitioned mostly into a mech-ish type game with mostly air units. Is that fair to call mech air Terran, I guess, more accurately?
Mech works. They're mechanical units. That's what mech stands for.
That is true. That is true.
Clem was just making, was that 11 Vikings at the time? That is a lot of Vikings being made out of his 6 starports. Keeping them back at home. Ship weapons level 1 now finally kicking in is a little bit behind in that. There's already been +2. So that's the one thing where Clem has been a little slow here with his with the upgrades. Yamato gun starting. Yes.
What?
We're gonna get that game, man.
All right, Johan, that is exciting. Yamato gun. I mean, with this many
Yamato
Vikings,
cannon.
are Battlecruisers even good? Yeah, but it's a gun.
Yeah. It could be. I think if you like synergize that really well, like as long as you don't YOLO in, I think that can be the end game also. Like, I mentioned it earlier. I've seen this type of games before being played and it come in really handy. The question is, like, what's the exact composition that you go for exactly? How many do you want to make? You need to get it perfectly right. And we see 2 of them starting here in the first place.
Very interesting. All right, these tanks for Clem are going to get wiped out of the face of the earth. I'm not sure how much the players care about their tanks. Obviously, they care a little bit at least. They are the units that are eventually going to push forward for them. But the more important fight is being fought up in the air. Torito cannons on either side here of this engagement. And now it does seem like Clem has air superiority. Also with the tank line that he has in the back. The auto defensors of Marinelord are not going to be particularly effective. Clem trying to push forward with real turrets. Durable turrets.
Clem has 30 Vikings right now. This is ridiculous. He has less tanks. He has only 6 against 12, but 30 Vikings against 11. Like, safe to say, air control is completely secured, even though there's the Ravens he needs to worry about. And that's why he's trying to siege so hard. I think he fully understands that he's way ahead in that. Tanks gonna get flanked by the auto turrets here at the north. At the same time, at the bottom, 3 tanks are about to attack into that third base, completely left open, as the sensor tower was killed in the last attack. And I think he might have seen it go past here.
Yeah, but Battlecruisers are going to be here. Battlecruisers have arrived. I'm not sure what difference they're going to make in the fight, to be honest, with that many Vikings. Is there a world where maybe you even teleport on top of the Vikings just to soak up a lot of shots or kill them?
No.
No way, right? Like, I mean, while the Viking fight is happening, right? Because the Vikings might all focus fire the Battlecruiser. If they don't, then it's going to soak up a lot of, basically like a flying tank.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
It's about Yamato. Like, you really want to land some big Yamato and like get some of these Vikings out of there. Look at this. Clem saw the movement of the Battlecruisers and he knew they were going to head to that location. So he already set up a lot of Vikings. He uses interference matrix, but they get out just on time. Ooh, that was close. The fact that they actually got out here, very good for Marinelords, because that was some great movement by Clem. And Marinelord's trying to catch up on the Viking count now and also adding 2 more Battlecruisers. As Clem is getting his first 3. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's Clem this time around with the Liberators as well, which is going to help him a great deal in these air skirmishes to zone out the tanks and potentially even use his defensive auto turrets aggressively. Marinelord really trailing back on this front. Clem heading his own Battlecruisers like you mentioned. This is going to be nasty, Johan. I have no idea what's going to happen here, but it certainly seems like Clem has had the air control. He has to be feeling pretty good about this.
Can't tell you what's going to happen. We're going to hear pew, 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 pew. And a lot of units are going to die very quickly when that happens.
I'm looking forward to it.
I like Clem's like outpost, towards the top right, because this really allows him to keep leapfrogging forward slowly. But as long as he can keep on finding damage with this, it's always going to be great for him. He's the one who's not only maxed out right now, but he's got quite a bit of a bank. He's ahead in walkers, and he still found a way to do a lot of damage or trade better the whole game, really.
I'm not even sure what it's called. Here we have a lot of engagement as the Battlecruisers now of Marinelord are going to show up, but Clem prompt to just teleport a little bit behind and save his own Battlecruisers.
Clem still has way more Vikings here, 31 against 22, so that's the main thing. He's still winning the air battle. He has more Battlecruisers, 7 against 4. It's just one Raven against one. The one thing that Marinelord has going for him is that he has 2 Thors, but I don't know that they can make up so much for the disadvantage with all the other numbers.
Yeah. I think if they could imagine a Thor shot right there, poof, it would hurt a lot, right? Like there's so many Vikings clumped up that could really make a difference, perhaps for Marinelord, who's gonna have to react now to this Battlecruisers.
Sending back all the Vikings. Oh my god, the Vikings are gonna intercept one another in the center here. Oh. That's what Clem was counting on. I think he anticipated that from Marinelord, and because he's got more, he's gonna get better trades. He's also got more Battlecruisers. For some reason, he's trying to exit this area. I think a lot of his BCs perhaps didn't have Yamato cannon, but he wasn't getting the base trades.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. I'm not quite sure how Clem has more of everything. I guess Marinelord is just down in supply at this point. But near the start of that fight, he was nearly maxed 180-ish supply. Now the Thors are going to get here a little bit slowly. So Clem did a really good job of avoiding those for the most part. And now Clem with a pretty sizable lead, I would say, in this game.
Yeah. I mean, look at the upgrades. That's the one thing that Marinelord has always been ahead in this whole series for the most part. But Clem's doing everything better, it feels like. The way he mixes in units, the way he sieges all the time, and kind of suffocates Marinelord on his side of the map. Clem did have more SCVs for the entire game, so that means he should mine out all of the mineral patches and gas that he has quicker. Well, probably just minerals, because gases probably have the same saturation. Marinelord should play a little slower. I think if he can also max out here and have more army supply, he's going to be able to do fine.
That would definitely be helpful. And I mean, we are seeing Clem adapt. We are seeing a different Clem than we saw in the first game. Clem that transitioned much faster and is kind of beating Marinelord at his own game. So all boxes checked there.
Ooh, big Yamato here. He sent 2 BCs to the bottom left to Marinelord. He keeps doing this and then barely getting out on time. Ooh, turret. Not like this. He's just gonna get out very safely because he knows there's the potential for Clem to be headed down there for the clear. He's trying to catch the... Oh, this is such great moves from both players. They're anticipating what the opponent is gonna do with their Vikings so well every time there is a fight in bottom left.
Yeah. They are looking for those intercepts constantly. The Thors are trying to move and keep up with the Vikings of Marinelord as best as they can. They are gonna kill some turrets. They've already taken down a couple of tanks, so those Thors have proved useful. The problem is they are easy to outposition, and that's constantly what Clem is also looking for. Let's see what the numbers say here. 37 Vikings actually for Marinelord, so he has the lead in that regard. However, he is lagging behind 7 Battlecruisers.
Oh, there is 38 for Clem actually, which is absurd. Like this whole game he's made so many Vikings.
Yeah, that was the next
We might
round.
not have gotten the new Top Gun movie yet, but this is actually better, man.
Yeah, so Clem still producing a lot of Vikings, like you're alluding to. Marinelord does have more Ravens, but at this point, I think anti-armor missile is the main thing that he wants to use from them.
Clem is making himself at home. He's starting turrets here. Finally, the big fight begins. That might be the game decider here. Interference Matrix used on some of these Battlecruisers. The Thors actually putting in work here, and Clem trying to evacuate. He's not taking the fight head on.
Yeah, I'd love to see how much damage the Thors are outputting. Who did more damage in that fight and whatnot? Because that was pretty crazy. I thought that Clem was just gonna take it, but then the 2 Thors show up, and they kind of deter him from moving on forward, from pushing on forward. So let's see. I think that Marinelord can take this engagement right now. The army of Clem is a little bit weaker, even if the numbers are very similar right now, and they are.
Yeah, the Thors have 3-3, so they definitely hurt quite a bit. And the unit stab looks pretty funny, actually. Clem has 58 SCVs, 28 Vikings, 3 BCs. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Marinelord, who has had the less economy to work with all game long, is the first one to start sacrificing workers as well. These Battlecruisers are just... they love the punishment.
Marinelord at some point was 3,000 behind in resources lost, so he had lost, 3,000 more. Now, it's 2,000 ahead, so he's definitely traded extremely well in the last few fights. And that's because of his patience. Like, yes, Clem is trying to be aggressive, but he's definitely overextending sometimes when he steps above a bunch of turrets, just like he's about to do at this base down there yet again.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is, yeah, we were saying things are looking up for Clem a little bit ago. Now it's a much more even game. You pointed out in previous games, Johan, how important it is that we take a look at those resources lost tab often enough when the map is completely split, because once it's all mined out, that is exactly what it's going to come down to. Who traded better?
A nice little Yamato down there. They make those turrets burn. They burn, of course, very shortly, or burn down after Yamato is used on them. So unless you have STVs already in position. Marinelord moves in there. What's that?
Jeez.
I don't know if that was unintentional, but he got very close to this army here. Meanwhile, he has tanks and battlecruisers at the top sieging on their own.
Yeah, that was pretty sketchy there from Marinelord, who is going to have to remake a few of those units that he has lost for free. Now the battlecruisers are doing what they can here at the top of the map. They will actually find an exposed base. Not sure about taking the PF.
Close. We'll be back.
Yeah, even if he took down the PF though, that CC would just fly right there right away, and it's not like they're making enough ground units to really threaten that location anyway, right? Like, so I don't know that he would have gained much by that. I would have much rather seen him actually just keep the Yamato.
Marinelord is ahead in army supply here for at a very important timing. Oh my god, they're gonna go for the head-on fight here. Anti-armor missile lands, and it's an absolute slugfest here.
It really is. Good auto defense turrets as well from Marinelord. Both players are dropping in supply quickly. Clem seems to have the advantage for the time being. A little bit of kiting here from Marinelord, and he has the greater Viking numbers. Clem actually forced to retreat with the battlecruisers. Let's see if Marinelord can find an angle here where Clem turns a corner and his Vikings land another shot, because those will be a couple of extra Vikings killed on his side. Now with the battlecruisers coming back into the fight, Clem is going to feel confident enough to turn around and push Marinelord away yet again.
In the bottom left, 2 tanks showed up. They didn't even siege, just killed the refinery. They turn around, Clem restarts the refinery, and Marinelord is like, am I a joke to you? Moves back down there. And as 2 BCs are about to show up, he's gonna have to pull back, but he might end up catching them. Oh my god, they use tactical jump to get down there. Okay, I don't think he can dive into that many turrets. Marinelord hasn't attacked the whole game. He literally hasn't been on the other side of the map, except like for the few units that he has sent down there, and he's just Clem attacking into him all the time and losing a lot of units. But Clem is still ahead in army supply right now.
Yeah, he definitely is. This was the story of the game that Marinelord won as well, right? Like, just better trades throughout the game. He really didn't attack until it was time to attack. This game already at 31 minutes. We've had 2 long ones. This one's looking to extend even further than the first, which was an absolute banger. Johan, we have a very evenly matched TVT series. It's as exciting as it gets. Okay, the last bit of resources that they have, the last bit of the green, Johan, is gonna go to the Ravens.
So little gas left. Clem, it's just the 2 refineries at the bottom. How much do they have? 366, 362, so slightly over 700. Marinelord is the one at the top.
Oh, lovely move here.
That's it, actually. Wow. Yeah. Marinelord is even more depleted. He literally has like, what? Less than 200 gas.
And Clem's like, no, not my refineries. Gonna repair with everything that he has there. Doesn't want those refineries to fall. I've never seen such an emphasis on refiners, but I mean, those refiners being taken down right now means no gas income for a little while. So I completely understand why Clem is so concerned about those. Hey, hello, Marinelord.
Oh, he's not reacting, or at least a little slowly. And he knows that Clem, look at this. He knows that Clem is going to use that opportunity to get on top of this base on the top right-hand side, which actually, like, the gas is almost gone. 74 left. They might be about to clash. If these armies expire, they literally will only be able to produce Marines until they max out again. This is ridiculous.
That would be so cool. I mean, they both have such insane banks. I just want them to kill each other's armies perfectly and then just have a Marine versus Marine.
A Marine ranch.
Yeah, that would be awesome. The only problem is whoever attacks into the other player's planetary fortress loses the game. So if that happens, it could be a tie.
Just don't oversteam. It would be a pretty bad thing to do with no medivac.
Yeah, can't afford a medevac. Don't stim, please.
Neither player has a single medivac. This is ridiculous. It's 35 Marines to 44, 33 Vikings to 39, and 2 Ravens against 3. And those 4 thors, I mean, they might come in really handy, but we have more Battlecruisers in particular. Well, actually, there's no beasties left.
Can you imagine a world where saving 100 gas for a medevac could actually win you a game over time? Because the medevac will gain energy, so you could stim, you know, if you have the ability to stim and then just pull back, it doesn't matter how long you wait.
Can you imagine how good those Marines must feel under it? They're like, I'm the chosen one.
But it's like one healed at a time. It runs out of energy after healing like 10% of your army, then you gotta wait another while.
He's sieging the refinery at the bottom. There's no more gas, that's it. He's like, oh, kill it, I don't care.
Don't stim! Man, this, I guess dying is worse than stimming.
28 SCVs for Marinelord, 31 for Clem. This is the wildest game I've seen in a while. Okay, Clem's gonna send these SCVs to actually get out of the game so he can replace that with actual proper supply.
Look at the resources lost tab, Johan. This game is dead even. Marinelord does have a slightly bigger bank because he was a little bit slower to mine. And he was a little bit slower to mine out his gas. Now spending all of his gas in 3 Vikings. This is reckless.
Yeah, the thing, he has to worry also about the Battlecruisers, which are very tanky. Oh, he gets a volley from far away. And again, Clem might be engaging into Marinelord on the other side of the map.
Oh, Marinelord actually on the chase. He's gonna stim a lot of his Marines. Where are the tanks here? I thought there were 2 tanks somewhere.
They're gonna steam twice with no medivacs.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's gonna mean that he has to engage right now. It's a huge fight. The thors are too slow to partake here. It looks like Marinelord is falling here in supply as there's more Marines left over on the side of Clem. Where are those tanks, Johan? There they are. Too late.
They're chilling behind, all sieged up, ready to fight, but the army just went on their own. And Marinelord, this was a really bad chase here. The Marines were way too far ahead. Clem realized he just turned around and wrecked everything that there was. The Vikings, though, on the other side, they also endured. Look at this, Clem. All of his Vikings are like mid to low hit points. This is a ridiculous game.
It's a ridiculous game. And Marinelord is not out of it as long as he can max out on Marines. Those 2 tanks are actually pretty freaking key. I can't believe that Marinelord would be willing to engage without those 2 tanks, as crazy as it seems. Yeah. When there is this many Marines and they're overstimming and there's no medevacs whatsoever, those 2 tanks would have so many kills right now.
Marinelord should definitely take it easy here for a while and just wait until he spent all of his minerals.
Yeah.
Look, click on the barracks. He has like 7 Marines queued in each of them. This is insane. And he still has a bank. That's the crazy part.
Of course he has a bank. They both have only minerals. And it really comes down to the next deciding engagement. Marinelord has to basically just sit by his tanks until he's remaxed and then try again, but with his tanks. That's mine. Oh my god, this game is crazy. Yeah, the SCVs are looking for those minerals like it's it's just the last bit remaining, right? And there's just pretty much nothing out on the map. This is exactly what you asked for, Todd. As the series began, you wanted this game.
Ask and you shall receive. That's sometimes the way it goes. 186 army supply for Clem. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to... Actually, he could go to 200 if he killed his own SCVs. I don't think... Bro, there's 2 patches left. Come on, get rid of some of them.
Yeah. Marinelord is already using his mules. I mean, I'm completely with you. I think they should both kill their workers. It's all gonna be decided on one fight. Clem will have a little bit more of a bank.
Marinelord's making a medivac. He's making a medivac. The chosen one.
Oh my god. That medevac, Johan, could win the game given enough time. But do you hide the medevac at this point?
No. No. Keep it with the army. He has enough in the air to tank. Mm-hmm. And there's only 1 BC left. On the other side, it feels like it's Clem who really needs a medivac because look at his Marines. A lot of them are already damaged. They're not going to replenish those hit points there.
Absolutely. What I would love to see is one player bait a huge stim from another player while not stimming. Like just stim half, not even half, 1/3 of your army and hope that the other player thinks that you stimmed your whole army. Then they stim their whole army, then you just back. That's a huge win because all we have is Marines. no medevacs. These tanks are gonna be huge. I'm not sure if out in the open is the way to go. And here we go, Johan. It's the big fight. It's Marines on Marines. It's Vikings on Vikings. There's more Vikings for Marinelord. The 2 tanks putting in work. Marinelord is doing it. He's actually pushing Clem back. 56 supply for Clem, 126 for Marinelord. Clem is struggling to try and produce whatever he can, and whatever he can is just Marines. Do not go near the planetary fortress, please. All right. Jesus.
Yeah, those tanks in position now. There's absolutely nothing that Clem can do about it unless he tries to get on top of them, but there's enough Marines. A gigantic supply lead for Marinelord, who defended the entire game. I think that was really the key here for him. Clem not patient enough to just sit it out, just kept attacking. At first he was cost effective, but as soon as he started not being anymore, Marinelord just wore him down. And now those 2 tanks, they're the kings of the jungle.
He has done it. I mean, at this point, focusing the factories and the starport is the wrong call. The barracks are the valuable structures to actually focus. I don't know if I've ever seen or said anything like that before. But yeah, please, Vikings, focus the barracks, ignore the starports and the factories. They are completely worthless. Marinelord maybe thinks otherwise. But yeah, most of the barracks will go down.
Yeah, Clem must be, I don't know, taking some time about what happened. I can't think that he realistically believed he would win this, but he's still got a bank. Maybe he's not sure how much of a bank Marinelord has, so he thinks if Marinelord doesn't have any more minerals, he might be stuck on like 120 supply, and then Clem can rebuild to that supply count and then fight him. Because he does have a lot of minerals still. Like, he just made a lot of barracks in the bottom left, and he's trying to remax on more Marines. Yeah. Dude, that one Medivac, that one's working overtime.
Yeah, every time he has energy, everyone's like, give me. Medivac's like, fine, here.
Like, you got like 50 Genjis in your army? I need healing, I need healing.
I need healing, I need healing. But yeah, I mean, Marinelord has done it pretty much, Johan. There is nothing that Clem can do. Clem doesn't necessarily know it, but he is, yeah, I think pretty dead here. The tanks only have, and I say only because there was more potential, only have 39 kills between them. Which it seems like it should have been more, right?
Yeah,
but 39 is a lot of kills. And that is, of course, not counting for all the splash damage, all the weakening of those units that they did. I think they were the MVP. They almost lost Marinelord the game by not being in a fight. So the tank drivers, I don't know if you give them an award after this game or not.
Silver Star.
But it will be another macro game in favor of Marinelord.